fantastic, Megyn Kelly. Megyn, I wanted to talk to you about the title of your book, Settle for More. You said you got that from a Dr. Phil episode?
I love me some Dr. Phil. So back in the day, I used to be a very unhappy lawyer. I practiced law for 9 years. Yeah, I mean, is there any other kind? I'm sorry.
Occasionally lawyers are, sometimes.
So,
my husband.
Listen, I'm a small town girl. I'm from upstate New York. I didn't come from any money. I didn't come from any circles of power. We didn't come from the country club. And I made it into law school. I went to Albany Law School, which is my hometown. I put myself through, yes, thank you. There's one. And I put myself through law school, and then I became a lawyer, and I felt legitimized. You know, like I am a serious person now. People are going to have to take me seriously. So I drove very hard through my 9 years as a lawyer and worked very hard and did very well. And so it was hard to admit that I wasn't happy, that it was not working for me. And there was one night, as I discussed in the book, while I was sitting on my couch in Chicago, and good old Dr. Phil came on and said, the only difference between you and someone you envy is you settled for less. And I was just ready to hear it. You know, it's like these things can be sort of cliche unless you're just ready to hear them. And for me, I was. And I resolved in that moment to settle for more. And you could see it even in my journal entries, which a lot of which I include in this book, my handwritten journal entries, which I've kept for 20 years, that I kept asking myself, how can I settle for more in my personal life and in my professional life? And it's really just a gut check that I want people to do, to keep asking themselves if they really are happy, or a better word would be whole. And if not, to dare to make the change, because I do believe hard work can get you where you want to go.
Now, you don't hold back in this book at all when you're talking about Roger Ailes. You claim that he repeatedly sexually harassed you. I commend you for not holding back, by the way. It's a riveting read. When did this start, and how bad did it actually get?
Well, I wanted to include the chapter on Ailes because, listen, I had no need to come out and express this publicly to anybody, right? I was outed as one of his accusers against my will, but it was out there and people knew. But no one talks openly about sexual harassment. I mean, I know a lot of women, and I know a lot of powerful women, and I know very few women to whom this hasn't happened. Everyone I know, it's amazing, comes up and is like, of course, yes, it's happening to you, right? And women have chosen for so many years to just deal, because that's what we believed we had to do to survive in a man's world, to get ahead, to not be labeled as a whiner or a complainer or someone who couldn't hang with the guys. And that's the position I was in when it was happening to me, and I had no power. I'd been there for 12 months. So I kind of explained what he did. You know, I don't get into the salacious details. It's a couple, just so people can make up their own minds whether it amounted to sexual harassment, but trust me, it did by any measure. And at the time, I didn't know what to do, so I wound up telling a supervisor. When it culminated in an incident in his office, which I write about and Settle for More, I call a lawyer. And but I knew the reality of the situation, that if I went to the general counsel, it would be career suicide for me. He controlled all those people.
Right.
And the end of the story basically is that when he finally got accused of it by my colleague Gretchen Carlson, and other women started coming forward, by that point, it dawned on me that it was not just me, which is what I had been led to believe at the time by my supervisor. And by that point, I did have some power, and I used it.
Right. But that's good. You know, people say, why do you wait? This is why you wait. Now, it's interesting. Bill O'Reilly is having a little bit of a temper tantrum with you because he suggested that you are making Fox News look bad by speaking out about. Now, it's interesting, since he was accused of sexual harassment himself, does he see the irony in what he says, do you think?
I don't know the answer to that question. But listen, I'll say this. I didn't have to put that chapter in the book, as I said, but I had to talk about it with Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan Murdoch, who are the owners of the Fox News channel and are running the company now. And they both felt it was important to include, too. I mean, to their credit, because they could have said, this is a black eye, we got through it, let's just, they said, go for it. You know what, go for it. It's important. We want women to see this story. Women have to start talking about this, right? It's not about me, because I guarantee you right now, other women are out there and they're going through this. They believe it's them, they blame themselves, right? As far as Bill goes, I think there's some interesting backstories in the book about my time at Fox News, and I'll tell you that I love my colleagues. And Bill said something on the air the other day, which is true. It's a great place to work, and it's full of really hard workers, and I love them. I've been with them for 12 years. But I do think that, you know, some people, in particular some men, have had a very different reaction to the outing of this story
Well, sure.
than some women in particular. And I'll just encourage people to be open-minded
But they don't want you
and
to-
realize the message they're sending to young women in trying to diminish the reporting on
The
this.
suggestion that you are making the network look bad by saying something, isn't it that Roger Ailes made the network look bad?
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said the other day.
Well, I have a statement that we need to read. A lawyer representing Ailes gave this statement earlier in the week. I categorically deny the allegations Megyn Kelly makes about me. I worked tirelessly to promote and advance her career, as Megyn herself admitted to Charlie Rose. Watch that interview and then decide for yourself. My attorneys have restricted me from commenting further. So suffice it to say that no good deed goes unpunished. What do you want people to take away from your book?
Because you did praise him in that interview.
Many times.
Yes.
And it is possible to both be harassed by somebody and then go on to have a good working relationship with him. And that was the case for me.
Yeah.
After I complained and avoided him, he stopped. And he got the message and, I now know, moved on to others. What I thought at the time was just moved on from me.
What would you do if he came into your office now and did that?
Oh, if somebody tried to sexually harass
what
me
would
now,
you do now?
it would go down very differently.
How? What would you say I do?
I would stop them on the spot. I mean, now I feel much more empowered. Back then, I was like, I want this job. Oh my God, I just got a job in TV. I was so excited. I'd only been in television for 12 months. It was my dream job. Right now, I'd stop them right in the middle, and I'd say, hold on, that's inappropriate. But you have to feel empowered to do that. And honestly, I think if you read this book, Settle for More, you'll see if you're not feeling empowered and if you're feeling just maybe like a weakest or weaker version of yourself versus what you could be. Maybe you'll see a roadmap to fixing that, because I sort of lay out over the course of my career the opportunities I had to grow. I wasn't always strong or empowered or just as feisty
So you saw
even.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil helped a lot. And there were a lot of things along the way. So I think you'll see the story more clearly and settle for more.
Well, a big thanks to Megyn Kelly for being here. Her new book is called Settle for More. It's available in stores now, and we will be right back.